Oh, hi. You know, today's theme is Infiltrating the Matrix. And I wanted to talk a little bit about this because I think, as an awakened person living in a world that seems like determined to stay plugged in, you have to function within that world. So, how do we do this? What is our mission? My name is Paul, and this is Path of Ascension. So first of all, thanks for tuning in, and I apologize. It's been a while since I've posted. I'm working on quite a few projects right now at the same time, including a longer video dealing with a pretty serious topic, something that we all think about, and that I don't know if I want to spill that right now. I might wait a little bit, tell you about that later. God, I was so dorky, I had to leave it in. Anyway, I wanted to give credit where credit is due. My idea for this particular video comes from a video I was watching by Emily Jackman. If you've not seen any of her videos, I highly recommend that you visit her website or her Instagram or her Facebook. This particular video, she was talking about, you know, how we all as spiritual people follow this path and we try to sort of break out of the matrix and sort of do our own thing, create our own businesses, whatever we're doing. And then she was talking about the idea of what if we kind of, came back in, just sort of slipped in like Neo does. Go in, do something, get out. And I kind of started thinking about it and realized that, that's kind of my life because I do definitely live within the matrix. I don't feel plugged in. I don't feel a part of it in that way. But I do feel that as somebody who meanders around in this plugged in territory, that I do have a mission. And I wanted to talk a little about how that looks to me, and maybe that will help give you an idea of how your everyday interactions with people can actually be little missions. So to get started, we have to go back a little bit. When you first became awakened, everything was bright and shiny, and you're looking at everything with sort of new eyes. And as you become more aware, you start learning to live in the present moment. You start learning to appreciate what a miracle your own life is, and all the things that are happening are just, movies going by, and you're just experiencing all these great things and some horrible things too. And I think at a certain point, you begin to trust that your being is enough. Okay? And once you lock that in, that just the fact of your being here and your eternal self experiencing this life as a human being is enough. Okay? Well, all of a sudden that opens up a lot of freedom. Now I can do anything that I want to do. And I know I've heard a lot of people say, well, if you do anything you want to do, why wouldn't you go commit a crime? Well, because when you're in touch with your eternal self, that's exactly the opposite of what you'd want to do. What you'd really want to do is support life in all forms, okay? So in that state, you say slide back into the matrix, or you are just recognizing that you're living in a plugged-in world. So what happens next is this sort of trust. This is a universal trust that if just being here is enough, and your whole body does all these things and all these functions without you having to do anything, it just takes care of itself and allows you to move freely within that vessel, right? So the bigger picture here is you start feeling like you're led. You start seeing synchronicities, and you start understanding that well, this happened and I moved here, and this happened and I moved here. And maybe, these are little choices that you make, but maybe if you allow yourself to just move with that energy that's leading you, you find yourself in very unique positions as an awakened person. And this unique position allows you to spread and shed light wherever that you end up. So a good example of this, the other day, my phone was dying, and I don't know, the battery just decided that I've had enough. And so it just kept draining and draining. And And my project at that time was try to, get it fixed or get some help with it before it completely died, and I just have to drive everywhere without being able to call or use GPS. We really do take advantage of a lot of these modern technologies, and we don't even recognize it till they're gone, right? So anyway, I'm led over here, and they're gonna try to fix the battery, but it's gonna cost this much money. So then I'm led over here, and throughout the day, I'm bouncing from one place to another. Well, in my normal sort of plugged in attitude, it would be like, God, what a pain in the ass this is. I got to do this. I got to do this. And I didn't feel that way at all. I felt like, okay, I'm led over here. And then I met some people there. And then the best that I could do is shed my light and uplift that situation. I like to joke. I like to make people laugh. I like to enjoy the company that I'm with. And I find that the more you do that, people have they have an innate sense of the oneness that is in them. They don't recognize it and don't think about it, but there's an innate sense. And when you meet somebody at that level, that all of a sudden sort of comes out of them. And that's an awesome mission. I mean, to bring that out of everybody that you come in contact with. And so they also go the extra mile. I finally got to the phone store. I did get another phone, but they kind of went the extra mile for me to make sure that everything was exactly the way that I needed it to be. I didn't have to apply any pressure. It didn't have to be all pissy and I want this, I want that. It was simply, these are people that I am relating to. And you need to be able to relate to everybody. And by the end of the day, I felt like that was a very successful mission. So the bottom line here is when you recognize who you are in the world, then it doesn't matter what circumstance you're in. It doesn't matter if you're working within the matrix or you're working without the matrix. You still have the opportunity to be your full self, and you can make what would normally be a very mundane day an exciting new mission. And lastly, I think it helps to do this if you think of your life as sort of a roller coaster. You can't predict the future. You don't want to predict the future. You want to just allow things to happen, and you're going to function at the highest level in every situation. So when you're moved over here, you function in that level there. When you move over here, you function in that level there. In this way, life is a mystery, and you accept it as a mystery. And it's a lot more fun than planning every moment and every minute and doing, making sure you follow this, linear pattern of life that we all grew up in. So if you want to unplug, break out of it. Allow yourself to move with the flow of life and experience everything that it has to offer with the light that is within you. Hey, I hope some of this makes some sense. If you have any questions about this, just put them in the comment box below. I do respond to all the comments. I will also have my link tree in the description box if you want to visit any of my other sites. So until next time, thanks so much for watching. Now go out there and infiltrate.